Continuing our coverage of the Madlanga Commission in Pretoria, where Lieutenant General Madlanga Commission continues with his testimony as the first key witness. Today, time was spent on the General speaking about Brown Mokgosi and his interactions with him and the reasons why he concluded that he had a close relationship with Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, adding that Mchunu's Chief of Staff, Cedric Nkabinde, told him that indeed Brown Mokgosi was a close associate of the minister. Brown Mokgosi is said to be linked to underworld figures, people that are subject to investigation of criminality in the country. That's according to the General. So when he mentioned the very same issue at the Portfolio Committee earlier this year about Mokgosi in the presence of Senzo Mchunu, the Minister of Police, the police minister denied having knowledge of him, but later acknowledged that he indeed knew Brown Mokgosi as a comrade. Mkhwanazi referred to a situation where the National Commissioner of Police, Fani Masemola, directed him to deploy officers at the Richards Bay mine as a result of a directive from the presidency to do the same, which he says speaks to one instance of political interference. He spoke of one instance where Bheki Cele had called him in the past, indicating that he wanted the district commissioner in Gauteng, Khumalo, to resign, which Mkhwanazi says he thought was strange. General Mkhwanazi also referred to an instance where a councillor was killed in KZN on the 5th of February this year, and because of this, the regular police handed over the case to the Political Killings Task Team. He alleges that a Major General Gopal called him to inform him that Minister Senzo Mchunu had called him directly, that is Gopal, to ask him what was happening with the case of the murdered councillor, and says that when Major General told the minister that the case had been passed on to the PKTT, that he sounded unhappy about this, questioning why this was the case. And the General responded to say, well, this is standard operating procedure. There are lots of instances where the General speaks basically of direct political interference and the association between key members of the executive and the criminal underworld. But we're going to get into a conversation now with my guest. He is Andy Mashaile. He is a former retired Interpol ambassador. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. So a lot has been said over the past 3 days by General Mkhwanazi. Very, very hot stuff implicating many people indeed. I just wanted to get your general thoughts before we get into specifics around what he's testifying at the commission right now.
Very well prepared, well organized, well informed, sequence running from A to B, threading right through up to where he wants to go. Remember the Sunday of trauma, the Sunday of pain, which is the 6th of July. He put bones, and now since the beginning of the process, he's been putting flesh bit by bit by bit. I spoke a few days ago, or yesterday, to some friends of mine and some colleagues in the industry. After he dropped the names of the people, I told my colleagues, people are having sleepless nights tonight. You can imagine Nompu being asked at home, is your name there? Have you been doing these wrong things? So at home, there's discipline left, right, and center. And we're also expecting law enforcement agencies to do what is correct now. The Department of Justice, the NPA, must do what is necessary. The second observation that one has made is that he has journaled every little detail from 2011 as the acting national commissioner. I just told you a story of the record that we had gone for a budget vote speech and politicians in the room and some of us as chairpersons of provincial boards were enjoying dinner there, and cutlery was making the ting, 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 ting sound.
This was in 2011,
2011,
when
2012, yes,
National Commissioner.
yes. Yeah. And General Mkhwanazi was giving a speech, a farewell speech after the budget vote speech or the gala dinner speech. And he said, I'm a police officer. I will arrest any of you here who does wrong things. The cutlery went deathly silent. I picked up for some kind of a strange reason. You know that shock of your life. And it went go. And I was thinking, this general is brave. This man is brave. And now when I see what is happening, I remember way back that He had seen a lot of things, and he's been determined since that time to do what is correct, meaning to correct the criminal justice cluster.
And we're going to leave it there. And what Andy did tell me when we were off camera is that 2 months after that, he was then dismissed as the acting National Commissioner. We're going to take a quick break, after which Kani Mampanga, my colleague who's following the proceedings there in Pretoria, will be crossing over to her.